Welcome back to Cologne, Germany. We're here at the ESL studio bringing you the inaugural RaidCall EMS1. I'm joined by Paul, Red-Eye, and Simon, Warclown. We're going to do a little bit of a chat now and line up and look at the next teams. But before we do that, the last match. First was maybe, I wouldn't say a landslide, but...
No, it was.
It was. Yeah.
Okay, no, you guys are allowed to say that.
It was a slaughter.
Nobody cares about my opinion. I don't say landslide, but if you guys say it's a slaughter, then it sounds that maybe that was the right way to see it. But then it became close, and it really went down. And I could tell that the guys really both had the feeling in the post-game interview that it was down to the wire. It could have gone either way. That's kind of what we want. I mean, I love a close match.
Yep. I mean, we said before the games, the first one would be close. It wasn't. The second one we said would be close, and it was. So we got 1 out of 2, so it's not too bad, I suppose.
That's a good statistics. Let's go to Vegas.
Yeah, it's slightly better than Simmons' German clubbing antics, which we'll surely talk about.
Do you want to talk about that?
You've got some strats, right?
Are we going into this?
Are we really doing this?
It's completely up to you. Just to clear, as we were warming up, as we were off camera here, we got an insight into Warclown's tactics in his private life.
All right, okay, I'll tell the story, but only as a tip, all right? So basically, when I go out clubbing in Germany, I've learned that you go up to a girl and you say, "Ich habe eine große Dingeldangel geschlagen," and if she smiles, then you just hold her hand and bring her back to the hotel. If she slaps you, you just move on to the next one. It's called a hit and miss strategy. And it works 1 time out of 20, but that's enough.
I was going to say,
you don't have any bruises from last night or anything.
Oh, no, but yesterday I didn't go out.
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping to go out tonight.
So realistically, tomorrow is the day that we need to look at each other and see the battle scars from your antics.
Then you'll see the statistics from yesterday.
Right, so anyway, the gaming on the other hand, the gaming on the other hand.
First here, an exclusive.
I'm very thrilled for Very Games to get through. They played fantastically well. They're brilliant on Nuke, absolutely flawless on Nuke. Second map, they were a bit ropey. It was sort of turned on the tide of one piece of amazing play by Husey, which was the 1v3. Nexus were fantastic on Dust 2. Third map, I thought Very Games had it pretty much early on. They were 11-1 up, and then all of a sudden the Nexus comes storming back into the game. I was just saying to Sam, actually, Rattlesnake, I think that's the first time in 10 years of commentating on his games that I've seen him do an ace. Mm-hmm. And just to see that happen and see them come back into the game was incredible. And then right at the very end, they lose by 1 round yet again. And it keeps happening to them. And, I just had a very quick conversation with them. Why does it keep happening? They don't know. It's obviously they're not terrible. They're really good at the game. For sure. They still keep coming up slightly second-hand against some of these big teams. They've done it against NIP. They've done, I don't know how many times they've played 16-14 against NIP, but they've done quite a few, and now against Very Games. I think it's just one of those things. It's just a little bit of bad luck.
Could Sam's point about taking some time, doing some practice, getting 2 months of just, hey, let's hone it. Do you think that make the difference?
Yeah, that's the scary thing about them right now. I think you'd agree as well, isn't it? If they're a 5-man team right now that know each other, and they do know each other really well, they've still not had time to gel in terms of strats in CSGO, in terms of timing, and a week is just not enough for one guy who they know well, who they know how he plays, and he played really well. It's not enough to come back and know exactly what they're supposed to do at every part of the game. And you saw that in Dust 2 occasionally. Husey was, fantastic in the 1v3, top scorer of the whole map, but there were times when he just seemed a little bit disconnected with the rest of the team, and that's understandable for a guy that's just come back into the team. A week's not long enough. 2 months' time, if they can stick together as that 5-man team, they're going to be a scary combo.
Yeah, I have to agree. But you're not leaving anything for me, Paul. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can start talking about imaginary gaming, because I believe that we're going to throw up a team sheet, have a look at the guys who are going to be playing our next match of the afternoon. So that's right up here. Talk us through this.
So this lineup is pretty scary, I have to say, with the player standing out for everyone is Shux. I mean, he's badass aimer, and I think that the team really needs to have him on form today to be able to take down their current opponents in the quarterfinal. I'm not going to talk too much about the other players, although everyone is obviously as skilled individual players as well. But a lot comes down to the way Shux is going to play it out.
So really, Shux is going to be leading from the front. His influence is going to be key in this game.
I think there's only one other team out there, at the LAN finals for the RaidCall EMS1, who rely on one player quite so much, and that's Kick with Fox.
Really?
And the other team is imaginary. They really do rely on him to make to shoot heads and to bring them out into the game and win rounds that don't look like being won. And I wouldn't say he's a one-man army. That would be a bit much for the rest of the guys on the team. But he is their most important player without a shadow of a doubt. And if he's on form, then he'll do okay. And I think it's funny enough, it's a similar kind of story for Fnatic. You wouldn't have thought it. I mean, we'll have a look at the lineups for Fnatic.
Let's have a look at the Fnatic team sheet now, if we can have that.
It is actually a very similar story for me as well. Although that lineup, I mean, it contains some fantastic players. Freeze, Modi, fantastic previous 1.6 experience. Trace as well. Zip's been, he's had highlights. But for me, the man in form right now over the last month, probably one of the top 10 players in Counter-Strike Go is Stinger right now, and you've played alongside him, and you know him well from old days of Counter-Strike Source.
Yeah, you've managed him as well, haven't you?
And managed him in the same team, and he has
you guys have first-hand experience.
He's been sensational over the last month or so, and since he's joined Fnatic. I still think he looks odd in a Fnatic shirt, though.
And it doesn't really fit, does it? But yeah, I'll have to agree. I mean, even though we got these quality 1.6 players in the team, what strikes me the most is Stinger. When he plays a LAN final or whatever, he can pretty much lie back in his couch and just play. He doesn't care. No. He's not pressured at all, and that pretty much enables him to play as good as he's playing.
Yeah, do you know, it's funny, I bumped into him. I didn't get much time to see them at Mad Cats, but I bumped into him and Sam, and they were having a bit of a chat, and Sam was like, I'm trying to psych him out. And there's no psyching Stinger out. I mean, as psyched out as you can get is him going, whatever. And that's it. That's about as psyched out as you get. He is just probably the most laid-back Counter-Strike player in the world right now, but also one of the most informed players. So I think what you've got is you've got a really nice blend in Fnatic of great 1.6 players, fantastic Counter-Strike Source players, and on very game side you've got sort of Shoxy against Stinger. So I think I'm looking forward to how that matchup ends up.
Imaginary, not very games.
Imaginary, sorry.
Thank you.
Let's have a look at the overall standings before they came in to now. I believe you guys can throw up another graphic if I point in that direction. By the magic of television. Or I'll just get left in the wind. C'est la vie. There's nobody listening.
You know it by heart, don't you? Can't you just take us through it?
It's actually up on this one now, just not the one that we're looking at, which is unfortunate.
It's actually it's been a bit of an odd competition for Imaginary. They were good at Cup 1 and Cup 2. They beat Very Games in Cup 2 as well, and that's pretty much what got them through the entire draw, and you can see they're 6th overall, which is probably a little bit too high as far as I'm concerned.
That's what I was going to ask.
But on the other hand, they've had a really weird season. They were Imaginary, then they weren't Imaginary in the playoffs. They were Superstars because they lost their deal with Imaginary. Now they're back to Imaginary again. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but nevertheless, they are a solid team. They are a good team. And although Fnatic are above them on that list, because basically Fnatic ended the last 2, got to the semi-finals in Cup 4, and they won Cup 3. So they've had a really good season for RaidCall EMS 1, but they came into it quite late. Imaginary had a really good early part of the season, so you could sort of balance the two out. Fnatic are hands down the hot favourite for this game, but you can't count out Imaginary. I mean, if Shoxy hits the shots that we know he's capable of, then Fnatic have to be very, very careful of him.
Guys, thank you so much. Thanks for your insight. I'm looking forward to this next matchup, and as Paul said so rightfully, don't rule anybody out. It's going to be a close and exciting match. So looking forward to that getting underway between Imaginary Gaming and Fnatic. But before we do that, we will head over to the always lovely Melly, and she will tell us more wonderful things about the world of you and how you can interact with us at home. Stick around, stay tuned. It's going to be good. Ciao. Thanks, guys.
So, hi. I'm here with Ulrich again. And we already talked about RaidCall, our main sponsor of the RaidCall EMS 1, and already showed
a few of the things we can do there, like watch the stream together, for example.
Exactly. We already showed some features, and we have something great implied in our channels.
Exactly.
We have a point of view for you.
Right.
Great.
I mean, if you watch the stream, you've probably seen that from time to time the commentators have, gone into the team voice and heard what kind of tactics they were talking about, what kind of things they were saying. And we decided we'd offer this all the time. So we'd have it on our main stream from time to time, but we would also offer fans of the teams to see the game from the point of view of their favorite team, and then also hear what they were talking about.
What they're talking on the team radio.
And there's 2 point of view streams that we have exclusively on RaidCall. So if you just go there, there's an opportunity to join the channel, watch the game from your favorite team's perspective.
We can
Fnatic
actually
or
show
Imaginary
it.
Gaming, whatever team that may be, and then hear what they're saying during the match. I think it's a really nice thing. It reminds me of the old days when I was still playing myself, but it's actually a really good thing, and RaidCall has enabled us to do that. So I hope that a lot of people give it a try and see how it is. I think it's a very unique experience compared to other streams that we usually have.
Exactly. So you have the possibility to be close to your favorites, to be real close, to hear every single word they say in game, and to watch the game out of their perspective. And for joining the point of view channels, you only have to.
It's really simple. I mean, you
open
can
your RaidCall client. So maybe we can have my computer right now, so I can show you. And you go into the channel 1979.
We also featured on the right side there, so it's really easy. Basically, you just have to click one button, or you go to channel 1997.
That's it. So I pushed watch now, and I arrived in the main channel.
Exactly. I mean, we've set the reception channel as the POV channel. So you're already in the POV channel, but if the game changes...
That's all.
Then you just have to... I mean, we're looking at this. Now we're in the Nexus channel.
Yeah.
We can also go to Team Very Games. I mean, obviously that was the last match. And we can also...
Let's switch to Very Games.
Exactly. So that would be the second POV stream for the game that we've just seen. And then below that, there's a channel for Imaginary Gaming, one for Fnatic. And these, for the next match, will then be the two POV streams. Twitch streams, like the one you're watching right now. Really easy to use, and then obviously you'll have a lot of fans of the team in the channel as well. You'll be able to hear what Fnatic say when they play a match.
And you're able to talk about it in the chat. Great feature.
Right.
Thank you very much, Ulrich. And that's it. That's how easy it is. And I just want to remind you guys that we have a vote on our RaidCall EMS Facebook page where you can participate. Vote for your favorite team or for your favorite team in the matchup. And let's see how the community decides and if they're right with their prediction. And I think the pre-match interview is ready, so let's head back to Sean.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me back. I'm joined now by Shox from Imaginary Gaming and Andreas from Fnatic. We're going to do a little bit of a pre-game chat. How are you feeling?
I don't know, we didn't practice a lot because our team was just formed 1 week ago, so we practiced maybe two times, so we are proud to be here, and we will try to give a good game for our spectators, but of course, except a win, I think is big from our side.
Okay, so putting on a good show. And for you, Andreas, what's your feelings going into this game?
It's pretty mixture, I guess. We don't know a lot of Imaginary. I know they're new lineup, and they're really good players. So I think it's going to be a real tight game. Probably going to win, hopefully 2-0. But if I need to bet, going to be 3 maps.
3 maps, putting on a show, tight game. That's being said, gentlemen. I'd like to ask you to shake hands now. Have a great match. We're getting excited, we're getting warmed up, but first we're going to go right back to the cast who's got all the details, going to take you to what is going to be a great match. Gentlemen, thank you again.
Thank you.
Over to you, boys. And of course...
Or not, as the case may be. Boy and girl. Sean.
At least I hope.
Yeah, I would hope so as well. Girl, boy, obviously. Welcome back. RaidCall EMS 1 quarterfinals. Halfway done today already. We've got 2 more fantastic matches coming up for you. Of course, we've got the Fnatic team in play next up against the French imaginary team. They aren't imaginary, they do exist. And a little later on, I had to get one of those in at least once.
You tell
today.
me not to do this, and you go and do it in front of me.
And then we have NIP versus Kick. And I just want to clear something up as well, because we've been saying all day, they'll go through and they'll play NIP in the semi-finals, which is a bit cruel, actually, because tell you what, Kick are actually a fantastic team, and if Fox is on fire today...
trouble.
Then it could be trouble in paradise as far as NIP are concerned. How you doing anyway, Pansy?
Yeah, not bad. I did enjoy watching that game. I sat over there with D-Man and a couple of the other casters who come across from Lolly.
A couple of those other casters that deserted first-person shooters, by the way.
The traitors.
For another game.
Horrible people, but even they were enjoying it. Watching the comeback from a Nexus to be pipped to the post, it was soul-destroying for me to watch, let alone watching you cast it, seeing Rattlesnake's face afterwards. He literally looked like he'd been hit by a freight train. So, that was was interesting to say the very least. I loved watching that, and even the sellout kind of casters who've moved on to greener pastures, possibly.
The sellout casters, I like that. We'll have to call that. That's what we'll call D-Man from now on.
And Joe.
Caster.
And Joe.
No, because Joe's
still here.
Joe is just dead today and tomorrow. He's coming back to life on Monday. So we'll move on from that subject very quickly, because otherwise Twitch chat will just go, oh my god, Joe Miller! And they'll just be off on one. Next matchup, Fnatic versus Imaginary.
Yeah.
It looks on paper, you just kind of look at it, and if you've ever followed Counter-Strike over the last 10 years, you'll just look at that and go, who the hell are Imaginary?
Yeah.
And Fnatic will roll that one. But it's not going to be quite that simple, I don't think.
To be fair, right, the last time I saw Imaginary Gaming, they had a different title, but they had very similar players. Now, I got to watch Uzi be absolutely on form. I think he was playing on Inferno, actually, the last time I saw him, and that guy was an absolute monster. His aim is impeccable. And I think you already highlighted a couple of the other players who we do expect to kind of shine in this, as in Shocks. So these teams, then you can't underestimate them, if I'm honest. The way that I've seen them play up to this point has been highly impressive. And I think Fnatic, obviously favourites on paper.
Yep.
But it's LAN. Everything can change at these events. Everyone can turn up with the wrong mindset and completely fluff a game. So it's all very much to play for between these two, and I want Imaginary to do quite well, actually. I'd like to see them really kind of pushing Fnatic to their limits and just seeing what they can kind of find in retort.
Let's see what Moddy, who's the man at the top of your screen right now, on your screen, see what he's got to come up with in this particular game. He'll be calling the strats. And it's interesting because I've seen a number of teams blend Counter-Strike 1.6 players and old Counter-Strike Source players. Now, for me, the biggest difference between the games, if you like, the three games, is that 1.6, and take this with a pinch of salt if you like, but I believe, in my opinion, that 1.6 players had the better aim. I think had the better movement. But I think the strats were actually more complex in Counter-Strike Source. And from that point of view, I mean simply the smokes and the flashes and the grenades, and specifically the smokes, were much more complicated in Counter-Strike Source. So what you've ended up with is, for instance, Fifth Lauren, when he first came over to Counter-Strike Go, was the caller at NIP. And they used him because he knew all the smokes, he knew all the points, everywhere that he would need to go, and knew how to get them. So it sort of made sense. Interestingly, Fnatic came in and they've just gone straight for 1.6 strat. So interesting to see how they balance out.
Yeah, it has been curious to see them kind of finding their feet a little bit. Obviously, I did get to catch them, I think it was last weekend, playing a fair bit, and they, their minds were in the right place and they were performing. I don't think anyone can say anything against that.
I think I'm just winding it Twitch chat up right now.
I was about to say, you've put out the bait, haven't you? Jesus
I've kind of cast this giant fishing rod, and it's got like a huge fish on the end that other fish like to eat. I think I'm fishing for sharks or something.
Pretty much.
Thrown that one out there, haven't I? Yeah, just... Hold on, I think I've got some Twitch chatters.
Yeah, that's one way to rile them up.
Yeah, it is. We're not quite ready for these two teams. They're just in warm-up right now, which also gives us a chance to talk about their seasons. I sort of briefly mentioned at the beginning in the pre-show that it's very half and half for both of them. Imaginary, very good first two cups. Beat Very Games in amongst that. They have only lost actually 2 games in the whole of the RaidCall season, whereas Fnatic have lost 3, but they've won 11. That's the key point. And obviously that took them to a title. First time out, as a 5-man, as they grouped in, they came into RaidCall Cup number 3 earlier on in the season. This is like a month ago now, and they won the whole thing. So for me, it sort of undermined Counter-Strike going a little bit, because it sort of made it look like, oh, this is easy. We can just form a team of really good players and we can just go and win a cup, no problem at all. Since then, however, they've looked a little bit ordinary at times. And I'm sort of pointing at them at Mad Cats. They were fine-ish through the group stage and the knockouts, and then they got to the final and Very Games just blew them away. And they really, I stood behind them for a few of the rounds at the end. They really did look a bit at sea. They didn't quite look like the cohesive, wondrous, amazing, magical Fnatic that we've seen in the past, both in Counter-Strike Source and in 1.6 for that matter. So it'll be interesting to see what they've brought to LAN. And the great format for me is that they can't, there's no mistakes. You can't afford, I mean, like a Nexus, they left it too late, really. They were too far behind to come back into that game. They should never have got to 16-14, frankly. If they just started playing a little bit earlier than 11-1 down, who knows what that result might have been.
So very different.
A couple of mistakes by them early on cost them the whole game. If Fnatic fall down in any way against Imaginary and come unstuck a little bit against people like Shoxy, they are going to find themselves on the back end of a hiding. So they've got to be careful.
Yeah, these players like that, if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. That's the problem. You can't underestimate these players. You can't underestimate them as individuals or as a collective. And hopefully Fnatic won't do that, because that could be massively, as you put, their downfall. Because, you know, in their minds, surely they're thinking of how to lock out their key players. Because, you know, the likes of Shoxy and the way Uzi's been playing previous to now, that's got to be in the back of their minds, is how can we play around these guys and make sure we don't take, you know, anything for granted in this. So it's going to be a weird mindset coming in from Fnatic, and I want to see how they've adapted from the previous event going into this one.
Yep. Interesting pictures on the screen right now. We've got Shoxy, who is just with his back to us now. Existence is in there, and Kenny S is in there. I wonder what they're saying.
Tips.
Yeah, well, they've been very close, and you know they've obviously played together a few times in different clans over the years.
Of course.
And obviously having the same language helps as well. So, yeah, a little bit of Belgian, a little bit of Belgian French, a little bit of French. It's all good. And yeah, they're just having a chat away. I think Varigame's obviously very, very happy to have come through a very tough game against the Nexus, and they might end up playing Nip in the next game. So. It's like we said earlier on, Simon made the point that I know is a very fair point, that if Varigames beat a Nexus and then they manage somehow to overturn that 11-0 loss record they've got against NIP, if NIP beat Kick, of course, then they get to the final having played probably two of the hardest teams in the world before they get to the final, and then they might end up having to play Fnatic as well. I mean, that doesn't. I mean, if anyone, you know, if they end up winning the whole tournament, then no one can say a thing about them because they will have played through the toughest bracket known to man.
Exactly. No questions can be raised.
Yeah, at least in the last few years, anyway. Do keep your questions coming, by the way. We are on Twitter. What's your handle, by the way?
They call me Pansy.
They call me Pansy.
They do.
Was Pansy gone?
I think it was. Don't judge me right now. This is what I get, Paul Chalona.
Yeah, don't go down the French route.
I've heard it.
Yeah, Paul Chalona is my Twitter as well. So if you want to contact us on Twitter, please do so. EMS RaidCall 1 is also the official channel of the tournament, which you can also send your questions to Melly, and she will answer them for you on the live stream. And also keep your questions coming in and your comments coming in via Twitch TV. We do read them, but not all of them. We filter. I also want to
strong word.
Yeah, I also want to give a bit of a shout out to Wisenhunt and to Corey Dunn. Although Corey Dunn seems to have fallen asleep now, and to Risk and a couple of the other guys, Mojo in there as well, for doing a great job on the modding stuff. Thank you for stepping in and helping us out today. It's much appreciated. And yeah, we are hopefully going to get underway fairly shortly. I mean, Moddy's just having a chat with his erstwhile former colleague and team leader, Mr. Khan. Stinger at the back wall there, with nothing to say whatsoever. He really is such a cool customer. So they're just getting their last words out together. This will be the last moments of strats. Meanwhile, Imaginary have sat down, have headphones on, are ready to go shooting for this afternoon.
Yeah, and clearly warming up as well. Shoxy seems to be on form, so at least from the little bit of warm-up, I've just seen that he's dropping headies. And obviously they are well prepared, but Fnatic, I've got to say, I do want to see a lot of team play coming out. The way they've been talking through this team and the way they've been kind of preparing just for this game, I want to see them bring something a little bit special here. And I'm curious to see, is there a case of ever over-adapting to your opponent? You read too much into it,
yes.
You lose kind of where you started.
Yeah.
Could that be a worry in this one if they take too much into account of the likes of Uzi, Shox and a couple of the other players?
I don't think they're in danger of doing it. I think they have enough experience to know that they can't focus all of their stuff on one guy. But yeah, certainly, I've seen plenty of teams over the years do it in all sorts of games, in COD, in ET, in Counter-Strike, in
You're saying special names to me now.
I know.
Can't do that.
I know, I'm just trying to get
Tease.
you up. Yeah, I mean, they're just... you've seen it all the time. And yeah, teams do sometimes alter their tactics to kind of lock one guy down, although it can work. I think Virtus Pro over the weekend, a couple of weekends ago, when they beat NIP over the 4 maps that they played, one of the things I noticed in the demos looking back was that they really kind of tried to isolate Get Right, and they were always making sure they had 2 players in a crossfire setup, so that even if he got one, he was unlikely to get both. And because that worked for them, it effectively gave them that one dangerous man in the team. I mean, admittedly, Nip have then got 4 more dangerous men in the team, including Forest, but it didn't make any difference to them. They could still sit there and go, no, actually, we've isolated him, we've got rid of him, and that's given us a different complexion now on the rest of the round. So it can work if you decide that you're going to concentrate on one player. I don't think Fnatic are going to do that. I mean, they don't need to do that either, and I'm pretty sure that's what they'll be saying.
If only we could have a little microphone just to hear that moment. But once we get the headsets on, I'm sure we can dive in and see how it's going mid-game.
I don't know how much we're going to get because
we're not
Fnatic
French
have got Fnatic have got 3 Danes and 2 Swedes. Sorry, a Swede and a Norwegian, of course. Imaginary have got only French, so I would imagine that we'll pop in and see it just for that. And if anyone wants to translate it, I might give it a go.
With your knife rounds, you're pretty much French right now, is my take on things.
Okay.
When you do the accent, you're pretty much French, so surely you can kind of decipher what they're saying.
Really?
That's my thoughts on the matter.
Okay. I'm not feeling that, but okay.
You're not feeling it?
Not really,
The accent's not strong enough to kind of carry you through into the whole language?
No, I might try and do the French, the knife round in French. The first one.
Actually in French, or just kind of...
with a French accent, with a French accent. I think that's probably all I can do.
I think that's probably best.
Yeah.
You might insult an entire country again.
Yeah. I think pretty much the only thing I can say in Swedish is probably Heja Sverige, and that's about it. That's all I can do. Anyway, before we get underway, we are going to go back to our erstwhile host, Mr. Sean. Take it away.
Paul, you say the absolute nicest things, and I also get some of the nicest jobs here, which is why I love working here at the ESL. And I'm sitting next to Robin Florent. Ron, how are you doing today?
We're good. We had a good night's sleep, and then we're ready to rumble today, so I feel good.
Ready to rumble? Does that say you've got your fighting pajamas on?
Yes, for sure. We're ready to play.
Now, I've seen the question come by a couple of times, and I'm sorry if I'm putting you on the spot for it, so please feel free to tell me to FO. But where does the name Ninjas in Pajamas come from?
I actually think that it's from the very first team that Heaton made back in the day, so I'm not really sure what year, but I think that they were the one who invented the name, so to speak, and then obviously when the team itself folded, then Ninjas in Pajamas was on ice for a little bit, and then we came back and remade it last year, so I think that's where it's from.
Well, I love it as a name, so I'm glad you did. Now, a lot of talk's been going into, the build-up into this RaidCall EMS1 first final for the 35K. It's on the line, and you've been tipped as some of the, let's say, one of the favorites. How does it make you feel? Does it give you an edge?
No, I wouldn't really say that it's an edge. I mean, coming into all the tournaments, we just come in with an open mind. Even though we might be called as one of the favorites, we just come in, we came here to play, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
And any particular strategy or anybody you're like, hey, I just don't want to meet these guys?
No, we can play anyone. I mean, we lost last weekend versus Virtus Pro in Ukraine, so we're here for basically revenge. Even though they're not here, we're here to prove that we're still the #1 team in the world.
Excellent. All right, we're back over to the casters, getting underway in this match. Let's see what happens. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, Sean. We are going to get into the game very shortly. Unfortunately, the knife round's already taken place, so that's done and dusted. But we are about to go live. So let's get you into the game, and we'll give you the lineups as we go through it. And we will be live for our third quarterfinal of the day here at the RaidCall EMS1 Cup. Whenever you're ready.
They're saying stop, not live, so...
Okay, so not live just yet.
But Fnatic did win the knife, picked up the T side, so as you'd expect.
Yeah, Dust 2 is our first match. I haven't got any information on second or third match.
I believe Mirage and Nuke will be coming up.
So good job. I knew I'd hide you for some reason.
Hand, scribble. It works.
Good, yeah.
Yep.
So Dust 2, Mirage, then Nuke.
That's the one.
Good job.
No, I do want to see how they pan on this, because everyone can play Dust 2. That's the thing. It's always that kind of grounded map where you'll always get to see a genuine range of abilities coming out from either teams.
I'd be a bit worried if they couldn't play Dust 2.
Exactly. It's your bread and butter, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But you see teams and players who aren't necessarily strong on other maps. I think Mirage was a big hit and miss map for a while for a couple of players. And a lot of teams have kind of evened out on that now. But Dust 2, you'll never get that. It's always going to be... this could be a game when anyone could win it, I'd hope. But I think they're just having a little bit of technical issues with their setup. Obviously, Fnatic look pretty much ready there. I don't think they're having too many problems. I think it's the imaginary side just getting things ready. But hopefully we'll be underway shortly as soon as they get things kind of smoothed out. And get this one underway.
Yes, indeed. We'll go through the lineups in just a moment as well. Just trying to double check. If you are following it on the community sites, by the way, a big shout out to hltv.org, cadred.org and ES Planet as well, and a number of the other German sites that are out there covering this RaidCall EMS1 in particular. Read more. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, thank you very much for covering the event. We appreciate it. And keep the coverage coming, keep the photographs coming, keep all of the news and match updates as well, and help the Counter-Strike Go community grow even more.
And I've got to say, the Reddit threads have been coming up recently.
Yeah, Reddit threads have been really good. Yeah. I noticed actually the other day a new scheme on there, so props to the Reddit guys as well for r/global. Is it global ops or global operations? I think it's global operations. It's all one word, isn't it? I think. Go and check it out on Reddit anyway. It's a decent subreddit. It has lots of cool stuff, some videos. And again, just keep that coming as well. All these things are going to help us secure more tournaments for the game that we all love. So, yeah, it's good. Support them. Make sure you're tuned into all the streams, no matter whether it's us or someone else or SLTV or DreamHack or whatever it is. Make sure you go out there and support it. And make sure plenty of people are tuned in to see some fantastic Counter-Strike Go. Still wanting to get underway. If you've got any questions, by the way, and you want us to answer them while we've got some downtime, do chuck them in the Twitch chat. Global Offensive, yeah. Why did I say operation?
I don't know. I didn't know what you were doing.
I was trying to do 3 things at once, but obviously I can't do that because I'm male and old. And therefore should never attempt such things, and short as well. I'll just get that in there just in case you wanted to throw a short joke in there. I was about to say,
you've literally covered yourself off in this one, haven't you? You didn't do the French part, which could have been thrown in, but, you pretty much hit all the markers.
I know.
Any questions been raised yet, or is Twitch chat
I don't know.
still, being reeled in off that big fish you laid down earlier?
How long do I shoutcast? Well, until about 11 o'clock tonight.
The pain.
Well, how long have I shouted? I don't know. How old are you? Well, I'm 23 and Pansy's 77. No, wait.
I'm getting on a bit.
Yeah, I'm getting on a bit.
Ages on show. I think we are going to go live, though, actually.
We are going to go live, so I'm going to leave those questions. Those questions are some of those were very...
strange.
I'm not allowed to get them out, okay? I know you want me to get them out, but I can't.
They're great. Very pert for the age.
Right, we are ready to rock and roll for our 3rd quarterfinal in the RaidCall EMS 1 Spring Cup. And we are ready to rock and roll with Imaginary versus Fnatic. The French versus the Danes. It's more like the French versus the Scandinavians, though they've kind of ganged up on them by stealing a few people from Sweden, Norway and Denmark, just to make it even more Scandi. And we are underway. I'll go through the lineups in just a moment. Shoxy, though, is already looking like he wants to come forward. And Hammers 1 gets the first kill of the game on Stinger. And that was the head-to-head we were looking for. Here goes Shoxy again. Nailed by Trace, though. Flash is going to come flying into that B bomb site. Counter Flash coming back in. No, it's GMX who's going to come in around the side. And they can't actually get into that bomb site right now. Flash is coming back out. Akers going in there as well. Trace in through the window with the grenade. Zip's going to pick up one on Uzi. And they've got a 4 versus 1 right now. And GMX is in a whole world of pain as Fnatic are easily going to close out round 1 here. Although GMX, wow, took the head off a Trace there with a single shot. Can he get a second though? Needs 4. They're going to just hop round the wall here, surely. Modi picks up the final kill, having gone through the wall. And Fnatic lead 1-0.
And what an affirmative start. That was the way they wanted to get things going, if they wanted to look confident, ready, and just about ready to rumble. So let's see how they can bring this one back. Imaginary Gaming now, obviously on that CT side, they do have a little bit of work to do. The next couple of rounds, not going to be looking too great for them. So
you're going to do the Joe roll.
Am I going to do the Joe roll?
This is the Joe roll.
What is the Joe roll?
So for those of you who are tuned in and watch us regularly, you'll know that Joe unfortunately gets his fair share, no, actually more than his fair share of eco rounds.
Oh God, I don't like this.
Yeah, so what happens is we do round by round. So I do the first round, you do the second, I do the third, and so on. So it just happens that you've ended up with an eco round. I'm sorry about that.
Well, age before beauty, so you do get to call it, but let's have a little look how Fnatic are going to be lining up this round. They have made their way up short, claiming 1 frag so far. That was Uzi, was positioned on the A bomb side, but there are still 2 members of Imaginary still positioned by A. So Fnatic cautiously peeking upwards. Not committing too much, but GMX is desperately tagged up now. Merely 1 HP left on him as Fnatic now progress further. Shoxy trying to position himself on the actual bomb site, dropping out the flash, going to appear up, going to try to lay down any sort of fire. Nothing connecting. Freeze and Zip, though, do connect 2 beautiful shots there, as now 5 against 2 with 46 seconds on the board. Imaginary Gaming are being swept aside, as you'd expect, in this kind of round, and there we have it. Freeze and Fnatic keep a nice clean slate in that second round there, and looking very strong in any push they're pulling off at the moment.
Yep, good stuff. Straightforward eco bash from them. 2-0 on the scoreboard, and should be able to convert this to a 3rd. On T-side, Dust 2, it is the only competitive CSGO map that is T-biased. It's T-biased in a 55-45 fashion as well, so that's around a 9-6 or a 10-5, which is a pretty general score on Dust 2 on the T side of things. Doesn't account for the fact that one team might be absolutely awful, of course.
Yeah.
Or one team significantly better. Fnatic starting things off with Stinger this time round. Freeze comes in with a second and a third.
God.
And we've not even been able to see them. In fact, Freeze just ahead of us is trying to get another one and does get another one. What do you know?
Wow.
3 from him, nicely done. And 3 for Fnatic. It's gun time.
And even in the Joe Miller, I'm being treated to a round with guns. And opposition with guns. You do treat me well.
I know.
So,
looking after you.
Exactly. So Imaginary Gaming will have that weaponry beside them this round and finally might be able to make a dent into Fnatic because so far it's been a bit of trouble. But let's have a little look here at how it's lined up. They're going rather aggressive here with those weapons. Going to be peeking straight up onto Short where Stinger's already laying down some fire, trying to keep him at arm's length, but he's in trouble. Shoxy's already laying down the fire through those double doors and Fnatic are kind of converging towards this midsection. The CT side need to keep this in check because if they let too much go, they could be in trouble here. Let's have a look where the two players are lining up. Straight through the double doors they go. Fire already been laid down. It's Shoxy in trouble and he's already taken out. Trace claims that. So Fnatic now power forward towards the B-bomb site where who is waiting? Let's have a little spin across. It's Enjoy actually tucked in the corner and Zips finds him comfortably. And Fnatic so damn strong. Anywhere they go, literally taking names. Finally, Imaginary Game find a reply, but the damage has been done. They're fully into B. The bomb is there. It's coming across the site. Can AKO though find anything here? He's going to peer up with the AWP. Nothing really to be seen. And there we go. Bomb is down and ticking. Flash is coming out. Imaginary Gaming being held back as Uzi does find Trace. 2v2 situation now. Clock ticking though. CT side do need to get moving. Freesand Stinger. Well, so Stinger found AKO before I could. As now Uzi left in a 1v2, but the HP of Fnatic isn't ideal. So Uzi pushing forward. Gets a little bit of fire from the right. Notices a player just to the left. Will he find him in time? Drops out the nade. That could be huge. Oh, it hasn't killed him, but he has got the frag onto one. That was Stinger. 1v1 now. This is going to switch around. Oh my god, he's playing to the clock perfectly, but Freeze comes in. Beautifully played. Back against the wall, but he still pulls it off and keeps Fnatic in that strong, comfortable lead.
Amazing little bit of play by Freeze there. I thought that grenade was going to go flying over the top, was going to clean him out, and then get the headshot on the next guy for a 1v2 clutch. Not quite, though. And Fnatic lead 4-0 after a gun round, and it seems like I've got the Joes now, because I've got the eco round. Yeah, have fun. Join that. Although, I thought Freeze was going to pick up the opening kill there with the AWP. Not quite. It's Stinger who starts things off, and Trace gets the second. Gun sounds now very loud in my ear, by the way, so I can't actually hear me or Pansy. So I don't know if anyone can turn that down a little bit for me so I don't get a headache. There we go. That's better. I can now hear myself. That's better. Oh. So 65 seconds remaining of round 5. Fnatic look like they're going to have a hit on long A here. Should be a straightforward rush into the bomb site. They've only got 3 players to find. Joy, Shox in Uzi remain for the French. And Stinger's boring the hell out of me, so I'm going to switch across to Moddy, who is busy shooting heads and has picked up the first one on Uzi. Zip then takes out Enjoy. So Shoxy last man alive. What a shocker. And only the small Fnatic army to take down in a 5v1 without a gun. Easy, he's got this.
In the bag.
Ninja, go on. You know you want it. Go ninja it, go on. They've all left. Oh, I don't know. Well, he's not going to be making Pubmasters any day, is he? 5-0 to Fnatic then.
Yeah, indeed. And Imaginary Game went extremely aggressive there with those pistols, just tried to do the damage, didn't get anything from it, and well, Fnatic looking extremely good. So let's have a little dive into one of their actual RaidCall servers.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he was saying there that we're winning easily 5-0. Let's just keep it going, lads.
Yes, that's what I got. I'm glad we're on the same page here because, well, you're a little bit better at it than I am. A little bit rusty on my whole translating skills, but Fnatic are making their way up once again towards short. They seem very comfortable working their way through mid, through those lower B tunnels, and then kind of slowly but surely peering towards A. CT side, though, do have Shoxy and GMX watching that, so it's going to be curious to see how this one pans out here as Fnatic start edging closer. Smokes going over, flashes too. Time to go, it seems. Fire comes out, Shoxy already tagged up. It's Zip to actually lead the charge now. Picks up the first one to GMX, alleviating some of the pressure from that A-bomb site. Shoxy is in a world of pain now, taken out by Stinger. It's all going Fnatic's way at the moment. Can there be a single reply? Not so far. Modi again on to Enjoy as, well, the CT side are being ripped to shreds, guns or not. And now we do see, oh wow, the exchange there was incredible. So now it's all on AK and 1v4. What can you do in these? I think it's the time to get out of there and try and fight another day, it seems. Yeah, Modi found that one, it seems. So 6-0.
Yeah.
They're getting blown away right now, Imaginary Gaming. They have no sort of reply. They're being outgamed even on the gun rounds. And Fnatic look very simple strats. They're working them perfect, though. The flashes, the smokes, are so on point. It's very drilled in right now.
It's a worrying start of the game for the French as well. I'd have expected a little bit more resistance than this so far. No, that wasn't a French pun, although it's probably slightly awkwardly will be treated like that now, of course. We've got a couple of IMG guys have already gone down. Modi's also lost his life here. We've got a 4 versus 3. Bomb now planted by Fnatic at the B bomb site. There was a big welcome mat. I don't know whether you noticed it. We can't see it on our screen, but there was a giant welcome mat that the French had put out just inside the B tunnels that said, "Welcome to my bomb site. Please plant a bomb here." And they just strolled in, popped up a cup of tea and a few flasks and a couple of biscuits, set a bomb in the corner, and then Imaginary went, "Well, what do you know? They've gone and planted a B."
I don't think you'll be allowed in France after this. You're going to be restricted as to which countries you can venture in towards. But for a very good reason right now. Imaginary Gaming 0-7. And looking at that scoreboard, it's a bit of a dire situation. We do actually have someone bonding already. Enjoy 0-0-7.
Yeah.
Not great. Not great at all.
Not good at all.
Yeah, they're yet to find their feet in this game, but hopefully, well, possibly.
I don't know about finding their feet, Lauren. They haven't found any guns yet.
But they have a couple, but whether or not they can use them is the question. So obviously, let's have a look at this round as to where the Fnatic guys are actually looking towards. Once again, looking through mid, they seem very comfortable pushing here. They pulled it off a couple of rounds ago, and they seem to be trying it again. And switched up with that B last time, which worked just as well. So, Uzi in a great position here, could do a lot of trouble if he plays this correctly. 3 players just a couple of steps away. Peers out from short, does get a glimpse onto one. I believe that's GMX, but Modi has actually found him. Oh god, that has not gone well at all. So 5v4 situation now in favour to the attacking T side, which is Fnatic, as they are truly and utterly dominating the French team right now. And Shoxy having to back off, and they can't gain any sort of control here as Freeze is just edging closer towards the B bomb site, it seems, whereas Enjoy is actually playing on 0-7. So let's see if the Fnatic side can penetrate the site as well as they have been throughout this game. Pushing forward, here we go towards the bomb site. The fire is being put down as Fnatic once again on top. And it's Stinger taking out Enjoy. Zip did find his own teammate of Stinger. Just thought, you know what, let's make it harder for ourselves, because right now it's not much of a challenge as bomb makes its way towards the bomb site and Freeze's hands. But down. There we go. 4v3 situation in the afterplant now. Let's see if the CT side can somehow muster something together, but not with Modi at the hand of that gun, taking down Uzi, a critical player there. And final frag comes in the face of Freeze onto AK. So it's really not going good.
I'll tell you how well it's going for Imaginary right now. Their top fragger is 2-7 on the scoreboard.
Nice.
Aiko is 3-8, Uzi is 3-8, GMX is 2-8, and Enjoy, you'll like this, is 0-8 right now. Freeze 9-1, 7-3 for Trace, Stinger 9-3, Modi 7-3, and Zip is 6-1. It is a slaughter right now, and I'm although I'm joking a little bit when I'm talking about this, and I'm trying to be respectful at least of Imaginary's players, but they are playing absolutely awful right now, and I don't think they would mind me saying that. 8-0 down to a good side, no doubt about it. But they really should be putting up more than they are right now. On another eco here, I seem to have got the Joes. And Fnatic looking to make this a 9-0. Any moment now. Now, where are they going to go this time round? Well, it looks like they're going to try for long. Oh, do you know what? GMX has had 3 kills in the round. Uzi's then come back with another one. Where the heck did this come from? GMX has picked himself up a hat-trick here on an eco. And suddenly, they're making me eat my words. It's now a 3-4v1, and GMX has picked up his 4th of the round without claiming a single gun either. And Imaginary have put themselves on the boat. Do you know what? Don't give them any guns this round, and they'll be fine.
Do you know what? Sometimes I think I understand CS for about 10 seconds, and it just kind of slips away from you, and things like that happen. The individual play going out from GMX there was highly impressive, but highly unorthodox, to say the very, very least at the moment. So Fnatic, once again, obviously a little bit taken aback by that one, and certainly will be coming in with a little bit of fire now. Let's see how this is going to pan out. Once again, a little bit of a spread this time. We do see Modi towards the B-bomb side, just peering across, whereas his teammates are more focused towards mid and short. So just trying to split the attention of Imaginary Gaming right now. Going to try and get the early picks. Nothing yet happening, though. So both teams playing cautiously enough. Freeze with that up, waiting for a push. You can see them just trying to bait out the opposition, trying to work off the possible confidence that they may have picked up and punishing them for it, but they're not going to take that bait. And Fnatic, once again, back up to short we go. Zip, Stinger, and Freeze now lining up.
This is distraction at B as well.
Indeed, it's been very impressive. They literally are keeping the attention just about over, and you say that, but the flashes and smokes have been put by A, but look where Freeze is going, and that bomb is making its way swiftly towards the B-bomb site, and well, it's called one off guard. That's Zip taking down GMX, and Fnatic have played this beautifully. 3 big frags onto Imaginary Gaming, who are literally nowhere to be found right now. There's only 2 people now stand. It's Uzi and AK are up against 4 of Fnatic. Bomb is now down and ticking by B, to the surprise of the Imaginary Gaming side. And
Hi,
Uzi.
Yeah.
Does he still think he's at A?
He needs some ears.
Yeah, clearly confused as to what's happening now. Zip is literally just a step below, punishing him for playing so, well, specially. As now, yeah, indeed, Ayaka does find Trace, but it's the damage has been done, and that was perfect play from Fnatic. The way they played that then, faking out B, faking out A, and then committing to B. I love that. Really not going easy on the Imaginary Gaming side. Now, AK desperately trying to keep hold of this AWP, but he's been surrounded by the opposition. Oh, he's got one. Can he find any more? Not going to happen. Doesn't even get to walk home with an AWP. Gets taken out, and Fnatic are not allowing an inch to go away from them.
No. Another nice round in the bag, 9-1, and there's not really I mean, apart from a huge round from GMX with that eco, there's not really a huge amount we can talk about from Imaginary Gaming. They haven't really shown up just yet, but it's a bit like an Nexus earlier on with Very Games. Very Games were massively dominant on that first map, and the Nexus came back, so, you know, not all is lost. But right now, Fnatic doing no wrong in this game. Now set themselves up for a 2-man push into B tunnels. Shoxy has got himself on the scoreboard with a kill on 2. Stinger, that's the head-to-head we were talking about again. Zippo coming back to give it a 4v2 now for Fnatic. And again, a nice big fat roll. Welcome mat rolled out in B. No one there to protect that B bomb site. And Aker is now the last man alive yet again. Won't survive much longer though. This time is picked off by Modi's AK. That'll be 10-1. And I'm kind of at a loss at the moment as to what Imaginary can possibly do other than defend better. I know that's a bit random, but, you know, defend better.
I think that's what can be said, really. Up on the pistol now, only a couple of pennies between them, and forced onto the ego, pretty much. And I don't know what to say. As you said, it's been a bit of a whitewash here. These guys are yet to find any sort of reply, as Fnatic are truly taking the lead. And Fnatic have been playing this very well. Any sort of aggressive push that the CT side might have been trying to pull out, they've always welcomed it perfectly and played cautiously when they needed to and controlled the place very well. So Freeze here with the AWP, just looking down towards on. He knows there might be a player there. I think he's seen Uzi crossing before. Nades are coming out, and the fire has been put down, putting Uzi on only 19 HP. That is one way to kind of stick it out and take the pain, but he's going to be put back and now have to sit back by Pit there as the T side now make their way towards short into the eyes of GMX, who doesn't stand a chance right now. He did pick up a big round before, but it's not going to happen this time. Modi picks up 2, as now only Enjoy and Uzi are left alive. At least Enjoy's in the right place this time. He put down some fire, nothing really making any sort of damage or connection. Fnatic are truly warmed up and ready for this. They're not taking this game lightly at all. Zip finds Uzi, as now Enjoy very much alone. Freeze puts him out of his misery, thank God. And well, that scoreline is looking like a disaster for Imaginary Gaming, 11-1.
I'm wondering if we're even going to get past the pistols of the second half.
I don't think we will at this point.
I'm sort of saying this to the producer. Have we got plenty of content just in case? I don't know.
Might be needed.
We might need it. Blimey. 11-1 right now. Nothing Fnatic currently do is failing. It's all sort of working, by that one random round where GMX somehow picked up 4 kills on the eco, and Fnatic were a bit, I don't know, maybe they were just a bit sort of blasé about it and just got carried away. It happens sometimes when you've got 5 or 6 on the bounce. But they are 11-1 up now into the unlucky round 13, so presumably this should go to Imaginary, if the form book's anything. And what form book? What am I talking about? There is no form book for this. They've only met them once as well. It was back on the SLTV Star Series 5 game where Fnatic won on Dust 2 that day as well. I think it was 16-9 if memory serves me right. Yeah, 16-9. Look at that. Not old after all. Stinger and Zip then starting things off for Fnatic.
I'll say nothing.
You just be quiet, you. And they're in the 5 versus 3 now. Make that 5 versus 2. Zip picks up another one. Modi's still not been able to pick up a frag on this, but he's got a bomb plant inside that B bomb site yet again. GMX now and Uzi are going to try and save their weapons over at A. So whilst they do that, I'm just going to stare at this wall. That's how interesting this game is right now.
Well, it's very similar to Imaginary Gaming's defense.
Look at that wall.
Wow. Did you just see that from Stinger's point of view? He literally just landed jumping headshot to GMX.
Yeah, he does that.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah, this is one of those games. I thought Imaginary Gaming could have come here with something a little bit more than this. Something.
I'm genuinely disappointed. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't have been surprised, but
I thought there'd be a little bit of resistance, a little bit of sparkle from the likes of Shox.
Well, they've changed players. They've gone into Imaginary and out of Imaginary and back into Imaginary again. They weren't even sure whether they were going to be here. They are now here, and they're playing Fnatic on LAN. And I don't know, but it's just not working for them, and they're very disappointing so far. Very disappointing. In fact, the most disappointing has been Shoxy. I mean, look at it, 3 for 11. I can't remember the last time I saw him for that. And Enjoy is currently having no fun whatsoever with 0 and 12. Which is appalling. On the flip side of that, Zip 15 and 3, Freeze 11 and 3, Trace 10 and 5, Modi 12 and 4, Stinger bottom of the table with 11 and 6. I mean, that's how ridiculous the Fnatic score is. Amazing. Just as I say that, Stinger's going to pick himself up a frag. So Akers going to pop round the corner, is he? No, well, he's not, because Shoxy's going to get in the way and Tracy's going to pick up the frag easily. Freeze and Zip with 2 at the end, and that'll be 13-1. The final round of the half is yours, Lauren. Enjoy.
Oh, how kind of you, Paul. You do treat me. Thank you ever so much, but maybe Imaginary Gaming can do something this round. Maybe Enjoy can get a frag. That's what I'm hoping for, because there's not much else right now. As Imaginary Gaming are really just down and out with no reply. Shoxy's tagged up already on the cross, so it's not kicked off well. Fnatic running with, I believe it's 4 AWPs they've opted for this round. Not just the 2 that might be a push, they've gone for 4. Stinger still putting the AK to work, finds 1 onto GMX. So now they are literally falling by the wayside for the Imaginary Gaming side. And Enjoy, Shoxy, and AK are left standing. But for how? Oh my God, Enjoy's got a frag. Hold up, folks.
Yeah, hold on.
Hold on.
And do you know what the worst thing is?
Do tell.
We missed it.
Auto-director. Heartbreaking, but maybe Enjoy can find a couple more. There's 4 targets meandering around this map with a lot of firepower beside them. There were a couple of AWPs in the mix there, but I don't think he's going to find them too easily. The smoke is put down towards that midsection as they are making their way up short now, and the A side is truly contested. Shoxy has found Zip, so maybe there's life left in them yet. Closest round so far is the last of the first half. 3v2 now, as Trace does lay down some bullets towards that short area, does get a connection, and does claim the frag in the last round there in the first half.
Oh dear, 14-1, and just for the record, yes, if you've ever tuned into the RaidCall EMS1 Cups, you'll know that Joe and I use Auto-Director a lot, because it's actually very good. And we use a mixture of Auto-Director until it gets down to the last guy standing, and then you have to switch to it manually. Here, unfortunately, we have a 0 delay Go TV setup, which means that Auto-Director doesn't get a chance to kind of guess what's going to happen. It kind of uses some of that to work out what's going to happen next. And because it's got a 0 delay, it gets confused. I'm just going to leave it on Auto-Director for this round to give you an example of what it's like. There you go. There's a perfect example of what happened. It just switched away from the guy that was having a battle, and we missed the headshot that Uzi got. So let's just see what happens when we leave it on Auto-Director for this round, shall we? See as this game's getting away from us. Oh, look, we've missed 2 kills. Oh, look, we've missed another one. Oh, look, we've switched to Stinger now. We might get one. Hey, look at that. What do you know? We've actually got one.
Good one, Auto
Brilliant.
Director.
So 1 out of the 8 that have happened so far. Not bad. We missed that one as well. So that's what a round looks like with Auto Director on. So stop freaking asking for it in the Twitch chat. There we go. That's just my moan out of the way. Fnatic lead 15-1.
You're right, dear.
I'm all right now. I've taken my drugs and I've calmed down.
That's good. We're getting worried. He gets a little riled up in his age. So 15-1 is the scoreline. Fnatic now merely steps away from picking up the first map here, and hopefully going into Mirage, where they might get a little bit more resistance, to say the least. As woo! Let's see if Uzi can do the damage though. Picking up the first there onto Stinger along the retort. Fire coming in. It's being laid down, but it's actually Shoxy with a deagle to land, and that's a miracle within itself to land a bullet with that gun. But Fnatic finally wake up, lock it down, but not before AK could get another frag, leaving only Modi standing up against 2. So GMX and Shoxy to keep their team in this. And if there's a comeback here, now I think we can actually allow Warclown to get naked, because it's so unbearably unreal that it happened. So bomb down and ticking. Wow, that was literally thrown by Kobe Bryant right there. That landed directly on his face. It's now Modi versus Shoxy in the possible last round here. Shoxy just dancing between the bullets. Modi edging closer. The superior fire on the Fnatic side as Shoxy trying to adjust his aim. Does get a tag there onto Modi, but not going to get the frag, and Modi hopping up and defusing the bomb. So there we go. Fnatic looking extremely strong, but I'm not sure if I can say they look extremely strong when their opponent was barely in attendance.
Yeah, it would need them to connect to the server. That would
nice.
be required. So 16-1, exactly the same scoreline as we've had earlier on between Very Games and the Nexus. I'm drawing that kind of comparison because, you know, hopefully Imaginary Gaming can step up in that too. I just want to address something, because someone said to me in the channel, which is quite interesting. Stop being nasty to the players. You're not a pro player. They could kick your ass.
Mean.
Well, that's true. They could, and most of them do on a regular basis when I mix with them. The point is it's kind of our job to call it how we see it. Now, if I think Imaginary are playing like idiots, then I'll tell them. I don't think they played like idiots, by the way, for the record, but they weren't playing very well, and I think that's obvious by the scoreline. It doesn't take a genius to work that out.
You'd hope that Twitch chat would have a little bit more behind them.
No, you wouldn't.
No? I give them a little bit of credit, and I get more abuse than he does. I'm like, do you know what? Let's try and cast. It's him. Let's look at a wall, and I get the grief.
Well, I was looking at the wall because it was more interesting that round.
Horrible person.
I know I am. I'm terrible.
Let's hope right now that Very Games could possibly whisper some magic words in their ear. And
they need something.
Certainly.
I mean, joking aside, they were poor that round.
Yeah.
Fnatic, I didn't see anything that Fnatic did that was particularly outstanding. They just got the job done.
It was just very standard, very drilled in. As we said, the A push was well executed. The flashes, the smokes were there. Their rotates were great. We saw a great example of that when they went, a bit of a bait out by B, pushed through to A, dropped out the same flashes, and then came back around. So obviously these guys are very good, but I don't think we're seeing anything of what they can really bring in this game, unless somehow on Mirage we might get a little bit more from Imaginary Gaming, which we could very well see, but I don't have any faith in them now. It's been stripped away a little bit.
Yeah, but on the other hand, we had a Nexus earlier who looked awful in map 1. Very Games looked very dominant, and then map 2, and Nexus showed up and showed us what they could do on Dust 2. So let's reserve judgment for Imaginary Gaming right now. And good to see that they're going to talk to the Very Games guys and figure out what they're going to do next. And any tips are welcome at this point, I guess, because they've struggled that first map very, very poorly. I mean, I think that was the fastest game of Counter-Strike commentated in a long time. Well, not quite ever, but quite a long time. And it was over and done and dusted. One of the questions from the Twitch chat earlier was, why can't we delay the game and delay the sounds in order to be able to turn Auto Director on? It's a fair question, but we're actually live in the studio and the players are kind of behind us. So if we did all of that, I mean, it's weird, isn't it? Because most people go, oh my God, you're delaying and it's 10 seconds and we want to see it live. And then when you do it live, you can't have Auto Director. I get it, right? We want the perfect LAN and the perfect setup and everything to be fantastic. And unfortunately, nothing in life is, and you're going to learn that as you get older, I guess.
An old, are we?
Yeah, probably. But having said that, it's not a terrible idea. And so what I'm going to say is we might try it for the last game. I'll talk to the guys.
See what we can do.
Yeah, we'll talk to the guys backstage and see what we can do
to
see if we can give that at least a go. To see if it helps us out. But the thing that would really help us out, of course, is if we had a really smart Auto Director mode that could figure out what was going to happen before it happened.
I think that's kind of depending on Magic and things that don't necessarily exist.
Be.
A little bit. A little tiny bit.
Like iRobot kind of stuff.
Kind of. Don't think we have the technology here to do that. There's a lot of tech stuff, but nope. But clearly the Very Games guys are trying to talk it out with them, as you can see they look quite frustrated, to be fair, the Imaginary guys. They look a little bit kind of You know.
You think so?
He looked a little bit grumpy in the pink kind of jumper for a while.
Yeah, but look at Existence right now. He's like,
You guys are awful.
Basically, he's saying right now, you guys, what the hell was that? That was freaking hilarious. I have no idea what you were playing there.
Is this when we kind of just try and talk over them and imagine what they're saying?
Yeah.
Is this what it's turning into, isn't it?
Let's not do that.
No, let's not.
I think Sean has some goodies with him to explain how you can possibly win some cool stuff, courtesy of ESL TV. Sean.
Hey guys, thank you very much, Paul, for handing back over to me so nicely. I'm enjoying this match immensely, but as a little intermezzo, I have the lovely duty of standing here and telling you how you can get involved and get yourself branded up just like me with ESL goodies. If you head over to esl-shop.net, you can pick up all sorts of awesome swag, like this wicked t-shirt I've got here. I have one of these myself. Of course, I don't have the black one yet, but I'd say this is a pretty good one to get. Of course, in theme for today, we've got the F1 t-shirts, which are, of course, referring to the click of the mouse that will auto-buy what you need. We also have these cool bags. Head over to the ESL shop at esl-shop.net and you can get stuck in. But for now, you can also in the chat, whether you're watching on Twitch, whether you're on Twitter, whatever you're watching this on, you can follow in and you can talk to Melly. You can get some fan art over to us, and if you get art in our direction, we can give you some prizes. All sorts of goodies. It'll be going on all day, so make sure you stay dialed in here at the RaidCall EMS1, this first competition, all afternoon. This kind of stuff for you. Give a shout out, ask a cool question, tell a funny joke, draw a silly picture. It doesn't matter. We're giving this stuff away all day for you. Stick around. We're going to head over to commercial. When we get back, more action, more getting stuck in. See you soon.
Ready to challenge us? RaidCall, totally free. Amazing overlay function. Take positions. Sniper in position. Crystal clear auto quality. Go, go, go!
I need backup.
No lag while using minimum resources. Better communication means winning. RaidCall, communication for winners. Let's RaidCall!
Welcome back to the RaidCall EMS 1 quarterfinals, match number 3 of the Spring Cup 2013 in April the 13th, 14th. I don't know how long you want to make that. It's a long one anyway, and I think I've pretty much ticked everything off. Map 1 was a blowout. Nothing we can really talk about. So let's move on to Inferno, map number 2. Mirage for map number 2. Imaginary versus Fnatic. 16-1 from the first match. As we said in the break, Fnatic didn't really do anything extraordinary.
No.
But Imaginary did nothing extraordinary.
It was basic, back to basic kind of CS. It worked. They didn't have to do anything extraordinary. I think if they were pushed, we might have seen something more, but they certainly weren't. So it worked out. They were on the T side. They ran the strats, paid off. No need to adapt, no need to go above and beyond, because that's all they had to do.
The weird thing as well is the one round they won was an eco.
the one obscure round.
I guess it works like that sometimes. Yeah. Teams in warm-up right now, almost ready to go. You can see Modi dishing out the last-minute orders. Khan, former 1.6 legend behind him, part of that extraordinary Fnatic team that dominated Counter-Strike for a period, is standing right behind them as well. Just out of your shot right now, there he is.
I think you can see a bit of his crotch before, but now you get the full body.
Oh, trust you to notice that.
Well, it was what was in the shot.
I try and keep this, this commentary in check, but it gets overrun. If it's not you, it's Joe. And if it's not Joe,
Don't
it's
you put me in the same room as Joe. That's a horrible category to be in.
Really?
Yeah,
I'll tell
awful.
him that.
No,
he's
please
probably
don't.
tuned in right now.
Oh, Jesus. But I think I'm going to go live for the knife.
Yeah, he's not quite here right now.
Thank God.
So, we are underway in the knife round. And Stinger, the first man to get one. This is a bit of a peculiar knife round. Do you know what? I'm going to do this. Here we go. See, apart from the... you spoiled that then. We were going for the silent knife round. It was like black and white movies. I was going to get the production guy to actually do it in black and white as well.
I'm not sure if that's how they work.
No, probably not.
But it was a good try. Certainly better than the accent, so
the weird thing is as well, I was also trying to start a new meme. You'll know that it doesn't matter what game you've been playing, but Day 9, RIP Day 9. You've often seen that in the Twitch channel, RIP Day 9.
Yep.
So I was just trying to get them to do commentators, RIP commentators, just because it would make a change.
Just having one foot in the grave doesn't count, Paul.
Okay.
But...
nice comeback. No, nice comeback.
Hey.
No, it's a good comeback.
Thank you very much. But I think we're actually live in this pistol as well, so let's not wait around too much, as Imaginary Gaming will be on that CT side, whereas the T side will be filled with Fnatic, the previous map winners. So let's make sure we are in that game right now, because it is live at this very moment. There's now only 2 stand for Imaginary Gaming. Enjoy and GMX are the last 2 players up. The rather distraught French side who looked left in tatters after that first map. So let's go see if they can retain bomb side now. Bomb is down and taken. Enjoy tagged up and put to bed and traced Modi. And just about everyone joined in on those last couple of frags and took him out and claimed that very important first round.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think the teams took the production crew by surprise there by starting and just getting on with it.
CS players starting on time is quite shocking.
It is, but yeah, they did start on time and they started quickly. We'll get better at that, I promise. So 1-0 to Fnatic then as they kick things off. And that makes it 17-1. If I can get the game sounds just turned down about 40%, that would be fantastic, because again, I'm getting my ear blowns.
Blooms. There she blows.
Eardrums blown to smithereens. Oh dear. You know it's late when that starts happening, don't you? Dear me. So 17 rounds out of the 18 played so far have been taken by the Scandinavians of Fnatic. They have the Danish flag, of course, but they do have a couple of others in their team. Those will be from Norway and Sweden. They lead 1-0 on Mirage. This, of course, used to be an old Fnatic map. They were very good on this back in the day. We even named one of the ledges after Forest. Zip here with a triple so far in this particular round. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get to him. Just about nicked away by Stinger. Otherwise, that would have been an eco ace. It's 2-0 for Fnatic. And my laptop's died now, that's good. Lovely.
It's all going well. It's all going about as well as Imaginary Gaming's day is going so far.
I see what you did there.
Yep. Yep, it's not quite a pun, so I'm still not in trouble yet.
All right.
Yet.
Let you off.
So only 2 frags claimed so far for Imaginary Gaming, taking down Zip and Trace from Fnatic, who've barely dropped a player. So, third round here, no early investment for Imaginary Gaming, as Seaside now will be making their way towards that A bomb site. Molly and Freeze open up perfectly. Trace follows up. It's a complete whitewash. These guys are literally stepping into the bomb site and taking out anything in their path. There's no even reply, retort, anything. There was nothing there from Imaginary Gaming. They barely tagged up a player. So it's a bit of a steamroll right now for Fnatic, but hopefully we might see a little bit of resistance, if we're lucky. Maybe. Please?
No.
Nope. Okay.
No. I mean, if the carrying's on the way that it has in the first map, then I don't see where, but I don't know. I'm really disappointed for Imaginary Gaming as well as the fans. I mean, it's, you know, it's one shot and you don't get a second chance at this. I mean, yes, you're going to get $2,000 for not winning, but, you know, give it a go. And so far they just haven't given it a go, and Shoxy is not having the best of days here. Look at that, Zip just picks off Shoxy and GMX, no problem at all. Grenade comes over the top, does do a little bit of damage to Stinger, but bomb planted on the covered site now, and it's a 4 versus 3. Zip with 2 of the round already. Flash coming in towards the net, and over the top grenade does a heck of a lot of damage actually, and another one with finishing him off here, and Zip though still standing. Enjoy picks up a frag early on. Stinger replying back. Stinger with the second in a row. Now Uzi, last man standing here against 2 from Fnatic, is not going to be able to get in there, is he? He is going to be able to get in there now. 1 versus 1, but only 8 health points, and the bomb is going to tick down to blow anyway. He did have a kit, but he wasn't going to go for it, and he does live and save the gun, so he got something out of the round. And it was, after all, down to a 1v1. So 4-0 Fnatic, and right now Zip leading the way with 8 and 2. The rest of his team are on 3 or 2. And it's Aker this time round who's gone 4 without a frag.
Yeah, not the situation you want to be in such an important game. And in this map, as you said, you do want to, even if you lose a game, you want to walk away going, we tried everything we had. And right now, I don't think they can say that, because I've seen these guys perform. I've seen them play online, and they've been amazing. But let's see what the CT side has in store. Quite an aggressive push-up on 8. GMX and Enjoy are fully making use of how slightly passive Fnatic have taken this round. Just going to bide their time. Fnatic have nothing to rush for right now. They're completely controlling the pace and have no reason to kind of rush in and be hap-handed here. So GMX just receiving a couple of flashes and slowing down to that tentative pace now. No one really want to make the first move here, as you'll see Imaginary Gaming are in a bit of a bad way. So, rotate coming in. I think they've got an idea where they may be, but GMX is going to be in trouble soon as he does get the first, not the second. Zip does go down, but Modi quickly avenges, so the exchange has happened, and now the frags are falling drastically in favor to Fnatic, leaving only 2 standing. Make it 1, aka the last man standing now against 4 rather on fire Fnatic players who are barely letting anything slip right now. Spire is going to be sprayed down towards LA bomb site, but the bomb is now ticking against him. Oh, that is just not going to help. Anything that can go wrong is going wrong. And Imaginary are barely alive at the moment, so let's see if you can find any frags or possibly get away alive would be a bonus right now. As Stinger is on 6 HP, so he could possibly get him down quite comfortably, but there you go. There we are. Freeze and the boys on the rotate round the back does pick up the frag there. And well, scoreline 5-0 in favour to Fnatic, and Imaginary Gaming once again with very little reply. But they've got some weapons, Paul. Maybe there's something to be done. I keep hope.
I think we have to cling to some hope that we're actually going to get a game out of this. We've played 22 rounds so far, and 21 have been won by Fnatic. So forgive me, and I'll forgive you, actually, if you're bored right now. Although you should take something out of this, which is that it's just a general Counter-Strike basics masterclass from Fnatic in how to win a game, and it can be quite a distraction sometimes. Playing a team who just aren't playing very well can sometimes catch you out, because what you end up doing is just not playing very well. You almost get dragged down to their level. I've seen that a number of times, not just in Counter-Strike, but any sport, where you almost get dragged down to their level. It's why the FA Cup is so intriguing, of course. 5-0 to to Fnatic in this particular game as Trace hops and skips around. Now Uzi's got himself a couple of kills before being finished off by Modi. So something here as they come in towards the B bomb site this time. They're going to hit that forest ledge. Aker is still inside the building right now, and if this grenade goes in, that's going to be nasty. 24% health remaining after a double nade through the window. He's then nailed by Freeze. Trace now has the side entrance here and should be able to pick up an easy frag on GMX, who hasn't quite come in. Shoxy's going to wait for him in a sort of weird split here, and then finally, hello, just popped through the window. Trace gets his second, Modi gets his third, his first of the round. And the last man standing now is going to be Shoxy, who's got himself one, might get himself a second here. Although Freeze is desperately holding on. Brilliant little headshot from Shoxy on Trace. Won't get the chance to finish it off though. And a brave attempt from Shoxy will get away with the M4, but Fnatic get away with a 6-0 lead.
Why can't we see more of that? Shoxy then was amazing. I loved everything was there. The aim was there, the smart play, the occluding one player and focusing on the other. I love that, but it's been the first kind of spark in the whole Imaginary Gaming side for God knows how many rounds. So obviously the scoreline is a train wreck right now for the French guys, but with that maybe a little bit of hope in the mix that could pick them up just a touch.
I've just noticed I've got a cold cheeseburger on my desk. I wonder if that might be able to play Counter-Strike.
We should give it a go. It can't do much worse right now, but let's see how this round is panning out, and it's exactly how we would imagine. The Fnatic boys are still with 5 alive with a mere 3 of the French side, Imaginary Gaming. So let's see where the CT side are trying to put their focus towards. We do see AK Enjoy Uzi still standing, and Uzi does find Zip. Fnatic keeping firm control on the bomb site there as Enjoy and Trace are exchanging bullets. No one going down just as of yet, and as I say it, Trace claims the frag. So 4v2 situation, AK and Uzi in a terrible position here. They're smoked out and they know exactly where they are. Fnatic have them pinned in, nades rain in, taking down the HP, only 45 HP on the board. Firecard literally being picked apart with every step they take as now Uzi's last man standing, put out of his misery by Modi, and 7-0 is that scoreline, and it's not looking great.
No, it's not.
0-0-1-7. We almost had a bomb.
I don't know. It's so frustrating. I mean, I've seen these guys play. I saw them beat Very Games only about 5 or 6 weeks ago.
Was that a different team? Was that completely different 5 players, or?
I'm almost on the verge of saying bring back Ozstriker, which would be almost unbelievable. Freeze leading the line nicely with the AWP. That's the first kill of the round. Zip in with the second here. And nothing Imaginary can do right now is helping them. They also, I mean, look at what's happening here. Look, you've got one single guy here, one single guy here, and another single guy down there. They're just isolated, and there's no teamwork between them whatsoever right now. And Fnatic are just easily able to pick them off. They're a quality team. They've got aim, they've got brain, but they don't have a Freeze anymore. He's been dropped by Uzi, who has at least put up a little bit of resistance in the last couple of rounds. Fnatic now lead 8-0. And I'm sort of running out of things to talk about, really, as far as Imaginary are concerned. They just need a spark from somewhere. I mean, Shoxy can provide that spark. So, you know, if he has a monster round from somewhere, a bit like Uzi did in the second game for Nexus, which really fueled them, really, you know, helped them get back into the game, then, you know, who knows? Maybe I'm grasping at straws here a little bit, but, you know, who knows? Now, a little bit of a push here from Shoxy and Uzi on the stairs on the back way, which does get them a frag onto Trace, but Modi and Zip have replied back, so we're now at a 3 versus 2, with Enjoy and Shoxy the last 2 remaining here for Imaginary. Freeze, Zip, Stinger, all for Fnatic. Flashes deployed through ramp, and smoke's laid down just in front as well. Now, what are we going to get here? Flash over the top from Shoxy. Here he's going to go up onto the top. Oh, grenade lands perfectly at the feet of Enjoy, and that might just frighten Shoxy off enough to break a hasty retreat here with an AK. He then gets cut down in the hole in the wall by Zip, and that's 9-0.
Yeah, and I'd love to say this is completely, utterly down to the way Fnatic's playing. I'd love to see them power on, to this sort of scoreline from literal sheer skill alone. But looking at the scoreboard, Uzi 6-8, Shoxy 4-8, GMX 3-9, you can read the rest yourself, because these guys are literally underperforming themselves. That's the problem. In those one-on-one situations, they're isolating themselves, as you noted before, and then just not winning in any sort of exchange that does come about it. So, it's a shame seeing them playing like this, because I know they can do better, but the early fire has been put down through mid. That was AK just peering out, but doesn't get any connection. Been completely locked out of peering through that mid door, that mid window even. As now T-side get to take their time and control that pace once again. So Zip just darting around. Gonna make his way back through spawn now. Join the rest of the boys and focus their push. It does seem. So. And it does seem that Fnatic are actually going to try this B-side again. Last time it did come down to a rather close situation, I do believe. So maybe we'll be seeing Shox come into his element once again. Last time I did believe he picked up a 3-man, but AK does catch a glimpse. Just through mid, catching a player making their way towards the B-bomb, as we noted before. AK does pick up the frag onto Trace, but a quick reply from Muddy, opening up that side pretty affirmatively. Stinger now jumps out. Shoxy does find some sort of muster and takes down one, but the bomb site is now, well, it was in control of Fnatic, but Shoxy claiming this frag onto Muddy is slowly but surely making it back into their hands. So 4v2 situation now, Zip and Stinger left alive. Can they somehow do this? Oh, he's picked up one. Can he find a second? Spraying down, does get the connection onto Uzi, but Shoxy finally stops the rot, as now Zip is left in a 1v2. Bomb not within his clutch, so he has to get that back, all finally 2 players. There you go, spots the first, goes in for the second, bullets flying out, not got much, but he has got the frag there onto AK, and now 1v1, Shoxy up against Zip. His flash is coming in, he knows exactly where he is, but Shoxy once again dominating that B-bomb side. That's his area right there. He's claimed his stake and finally looked fairly decent on the 4-man.
Doubled his score from the entire game so far.
Wow.
9-1 now. Shoxy's now 8-8. And we did say only needs a spark from the main man himself. And it might just spur his team on to better things. They've got a round on the board. It's 9-1. It's a small pickings, but they've got themselves the early kill in this round. Trace replying back, though, very quickly indeed. Zip's got himself one as well. Stinger now out onto the open bomb site here at A, as Shoxy picks off Stinger. Now a 3 versus 3. Zip's only got a point of health here, so he's not really in the game either. But they are going to get the bomb planted early this time round. And Zip then disposes of Shoxy, and it obviously only needs 1 point of health. Easy. Now, Aker and Uzi are the last 2 alive, and Aker's already down to 61, Uzi down to 44. Modi then picks him up, no problem at all. And we've now got a 3 versus 1 with Uzi, who will pick up the first kill, and now a 1v2. Looks like he might try and go for this as well. Flash into the bomb site. It's a really difficult site to take on your own. Does pick up a second kill on Trace. He's not going to have time to get into that bomb site. What a shame. Modi picks him off right at the end of the round, and that will lose him his life and his gun, and Fnatic now lead 10-1.
Yeah, and as you said, the spark did bring him up a bit. There was a little bit of fire there, but quickly extinguished by Fnatic, who controlled it perfectly. And, well, they really are showing us how to play this right now. You know, it is basic CS, but as we said before, they don't have to adapt much. They don't have to bring much to the plate. They're just, winning the one-on-ones, winning all the battles, free set, picking up AK very comfortably amid as he leapt out of the window. It is an eco. Obviously, Imaginary Gaming have very little money beside them on the scoreline, like 10-1. Obviously, you're not going to have much. But the early frag does fall in favour to the guys who are leading this by a fairly large margin.
Again, look what we've said earlier. Look, 1 man on A, 1 man on the far side, 1 man on B, 1 man extended towards mid. All of them pushed on, despite the fact that it's a 5v4, and a normal team would have split 2 round each side to cover the entries into the bomb site. But they're on an eco, so I guess they're trying something a little bit different, but collectively different is fine. Singularly different is not, and that's what we've got right now. All of them just out isolated on their own, and they drop quicker than you can say boo to a goose right now. Look at this, Stinger in with another one. Modi's got himself one, and Shoxy now last man alive. Come on, Shoxy, 5v1. There you go. Oh, it could be a ninja though, you know. Oh, go on. Through the smoke. I'm waiting for one of those to happen, you know. We just don't see them enough these days. In the old days, you used to see those ninjas all the time. I loved the one on train. So Shoxy just trying to pick himself up a frag here, if nothing else. because that's pretty much all he's got to aim at. Look at this. It's a turkey shoot right now for Fnatic. They're lining up to try and kill him, and the winner is Zip. I mean, it's game over, isn't it, at this stage? 11-1 now. And now I make that. How many rounds have we played? Let me just do some maths now. We played 30 rounds, and Fnatic have won 28 of them.
Yeah. And as
Score-wise, 18-7 for Zip, 15-4 for Modi. Freesall has had 10-3, and the only men putting up any kind of resistance, Shoxy with 9, Uzi with 8.
Indeed, my only worry for Fnatic right now is going forward, they can't keep up not necessarily taking things lightly, but they can't think this is what they'll be coming up against next.
Yeah.
It's a massive issue. Every team who has ever played at a competitive level knows this. You play through the groups, you get into that comfortable kind of meander through, take your time, there's no worry here. But then, you do find an issue. But there may be an issue in this round right now, as Imaginary Gaming have actually stacked the A-bomb site finally. That's exactly what Fnatic are pushing. They picked up one, but only GMX and Uzi to do the damage. Quickly exchanged. Uzi finally steps up to the plate, takes down 2 players so far. And is that enough? Oh, not without Shoxy chiming in with 1. And that is the A-bomb site completely utterly locked down, leaving only 3 standing. Finally, the CT side have the advantage. But can they keep hold of it? Fritz left one off. Not going to connect that one. Ash is now coming in, though, exactly where he is. He's going to have to try and adjust. 1v2. He wants to get this one on the board just for the sake of it. Oh, beautiful shot to enjoy, and now one more to find, and I do believe Shoxy's getting the hell out of there right now. Going to try and adjust, try and find another way around, because right now he does not want to face off against Freeze one-on-one, because that man is not missing a bullet, as we just saw. Trying to check his corners. Everything could contain a possible opposition, which is Shoxy, who's actually just behind him, switching up for the M4. But did he catch a glimpse? No, but oh, the shot did not connect for Shoxy. This could be an absolute disaster, but finally Shoxy gets it. That was a little bit close for comfort there, but maybe there's life left in them yet, as 2-11 is the scoreline. And if they dare make a comeback now, I will not be impressed with them.
Oh, I thought we were going to get a bet there.
I did almost say something terrible.
You almost did a walk
almost.
Yeah, so Shoxy, we said it earlier, needed a bit of magic from him. He's now won 2 rounds on his own. It's Imaginary Gaming 0, Shoxy 2, Fnatic 11.
Yeah.
As things get started off very quickly indeed this time round, it's Stinger and Trace who have disposed of Shoxy, so they've ganged up on him this time round. They're not having any of that nonsense again. And they're determined to make this 12-2. Bomb already planted, and we've played less than 25 seconds of the round. GMX comes back in with a Famous kill. Stinger now waiting for any sign of life on site, as Freeze now will take up a defensive position over the top, then spins. Trace actually picked up the frag on AK. Stinger back in on GMX. There's only one man alive now. It's Uzi. He's got a double in here. How did he pick up those 2? He's now got Stinger for a 1 versus 3 clutch here. Bomb about to be defused. No, it's a fake shot. Has Uzi got it? He has! A massive 1v3 clutch from Uzi and a defuse. And Imaginary Gaming. Wouldn't you know it?
Wow, out of nowhere, they look like an actual team right now. So Uzi is up on 13-12, Shoxy 11-11. Below that, let's not mention. But obviously Fnatic are performing well. I don't think you need me to tell you those scores right there, guys. You can see them on your screen. They are performing extremely well. But maybe this is the boost that Imaginary Gaming needed, and what a pivotal point. These guys really couldn't leave it to a later point, but Shoxy has opened up here with the shot onto Freeze. So the fire has fallen in favor to the CT side, but Fnatic quickly regained that control. Trace and Molly claim 2. Comes the push, and then Imaginary Gaming does deny a couple, leaving only Enjoy left standing up against Molly, so another 1v1. Let's see who's become the victor of this situation. So, let's find out where they are. They both know exactly where each other are now, as the little bit of bullet fire just rattles through towards the A-bomb site. Bomb is going down from Molly. No challenge, no question yet. Enjoy just edging closer. Avoiding the nade just a touch. He does have a good couple of his own to put out, so he might be able to keep Molly at arm's length. Just tagging him slightly with that nade, but the clock is ticking now, Enjoy. You've got to get yourself moving. Going for the fake, lays down a couple of bullets. Molly knows exactly where he is. He's going to play that time perfectly. Going to try and work it down. And, well, Enjoy knows the situation. Unless he lands this one shot, it's not going to happen. And there we have it. Molly handles that very well in 1v1, claiming Fnatic back onto that point. And, well, what a round.
Yeah, good round from Molly. Good half from Fnatic. Little bit of life left in the Frenchman towards the end of that round. They took 2 of the last 3 rounds to finish 12-3 down on Mirage, as we immediately get underway in the second half of the second map. If you're just joining us, welcome. to the quarterfinal of the RaidCall EMS 1 Spring Cup quarterfinals. Fnatic playing in the third of these 4 today. We've got 10 IP versus Kick to come as Zip starts things off nicely. Modi into the bomb site. And there's 2 over the far side. He's picked off 1 here. Can he get the second one here? No, not quite. Aika can come back in. They're all low. Well, actually 2 of the 3 are low for Fnatic right now. And this is a big round for Imaginary if they want to play anything else. And we've missed that one, unfortunately. But Uzi has cheekily picked up a knife kill on Stinger. And we've now got a 2 versus 1. Uzi's the last man alive here. Oh, gets picked off by Freeze in the end. Didn't even see it.
At least he went down in some sort of style there.
Yeah.
And there is monetary value to doing that. So obviously Uzi now does have the money to actually buy up into a weapon fairly early on against what, you know, you would.
The funny thing is, though, I think to be fair, what I've sensed about the Imaginary team is that they don't really care too much. They knew they were on a bit of a hiding anyway, and they're just out to enjoy themselves now. I think that you know, the chances of them winning this match came and went quite a few rounds ago. But since they've relaxed and since they've started having a bit of fun, they've started to win a few rounds as well. So don't underestimate the release of losing stress and tension, because it can help you. 13-3 right now. 2 Fnatic. They should be able to convert this one, but they are on a partial buy, of course.
Indeed. So let's
with Uzi and that early Galil. It's not made any impact so far as Freeze picks up another kill, this time on GMX. 3 more to find. Uzi finally connecting, so he's got himself 1. Now they're backing away down mid here. And they're coming under fire from left and right. Brilliant shield shot from Shoxy, and then Enjoy chimes in with a frag. And now we're at a 3 versus 2 from what was looking like a comfortable 4 versus 3, but then Zip doubles up. Nice double from him. And then a triple takes out Shoxy as well. And just when you thought the whole thing had changed round, they walk into a hail of fire from Zip.
Yeah, you can't underestimate that, man. He laid him away perfectly. He didn't get overly anxious and peek out there. He held the angle, and, well, they literally walked into his crosshair. Yep. So 14-3 is the scoreline now, and this is on the verge of destruction for Imaginary Gaming. To make anything come back from this would be a near miracle. So let's have a look as to what's going on here. We do see a quick push coming out. It's Shoxy opening up onto Stinger. Laying down some more fire. The action is truly kicking off by A, and actually they're coming out the victors of them right now. What the hell is going on? As GMX will find Modi too, leaving only 2 standing for Fnatic. Trace and Zip. Oh my god, it's only on Zip. My mind is, what is going on? What the hell was that, Imaginary Gaming? You tease me with these awful rounds that you play out, and then you pull that out of the bag like it was a comfortable, handed to you round. 14-4. What the hell?
Do you know what that was?
What?
That was magic.
Wizardry.
Shoxy. That's what that was all about. The entry kill that he'd gone on to the way into the bomb site, and the confidence with which he ran in was what gave him those. Gave them the ability to get into the bomb site, get that bomb planted really early and put the pressure back on the Fnatic. So 14-4, and a little bit of an anti-strat played out by Imaginary. I'm not sure how much of it was intentional, but it's worked well. Freeze comes back in with 1, GMX with a double. Can he get a third? Yes, he can get the third before Stinger shuts him down. And then suddenly, it's now Stinger versus the world. It was 4v1, it's now 1v2. Is Stinger going to take this one on, I wonder? He is, you know. He is going to try and take this one on. So, 4v1, down to a 2v1. Time ticking on the clock. Bomb is ticking away. Another flash deployed. No, he's going to back his way out of there now and save the gun. That's the sensible thing to do. But it's also boring. He'll forgive me.
It's going to be 14-4. He should be excited on this one.
Well, it's going to be 14-5 now. And Fnatic just 2 rounds away, tantalisingly close to a place in the semi-finals to play Absolute Legends, where they'll fancy their chances in that one as well. That'll be an all-Scandinavian affair if Imaginary can't come up with 11 more rounds here and then win a 3rd map as well. Who am I trying to trick?
Very ambitious, I'll give you that. You're trying.
Gotta stay positive, right?
All right, you embody Twitch chat now. You're trying to be a nice person. Let's see how this one goes. As we do have guns on both sides here, so we might see a bit of a more even spread as Molly kicks things off in the right direction for Fnatic, taking down AK. So early advantage is with the CT side, who just need to keep hold of this now. Freeze follows up onto Shoxy, so this is really just slapping back any sort of progression that we saw from Imaginary Gaming already. Now GMX and, well, it's only GMX standing. They've been torn to pieces. And once again, Fnatic stamping their authority, saying, nice try, but not today. 15-5. It's match point.
Yeah, 10 match points, in fact. 10 chances to win and make their way through to the semi-finals in what would be the easiest win of the day so far. Absolute Legends won in 2 maps, but not quite this easily.
No.
Against N Faculty, who, by their own admission, were awful earlier, by the way. I did have a chat with them afterwards, and they were just at a loss. They've been practicing hard, playing hard, but it just hasn't been working for them. And here we go then. It's a really good start by Modi, who's got 2. Trace with the 4th. Last man alive is a knife from Modi. Nice way to finish things off. Modi, knife in the face to GMX. Say goodnight, France. Imaginary Gaming are heading home. 16-5 in the end after a 16-1 victory in the first map. And that, ladies and gents, is Counter-Strike domination. That's what it is right there.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I can put down to that. Fnatic looks incredible, extremely confident, absolutely drilled. And you can see, they're literally ready. That's all I can see in them. Absolute legends. They look confident again. I don't think we're going to see a much closer game between those two.
Well, the trouble is that looked like a warm-up match for Fnatic.
Did.
I mean, it really did. Say nothing away from Imaginary.
No.
They were terrible, though, and I don't understand. I mean, I've seen them play much better than that, and it must be really disappointing having travelled all the way over from France to play in and win 6 rounds.
That's it. That's all they have to walk away with.
Across 2 maps. Out of 38 games, they've lost 32. And it's just incredible. I don't even believe what I've just seen. There are some rumours floating around that Shoxy might find his way into another French team at some point. And it wouldn't surprise me, frankly.
After that, obviously he performed within his own little right, within obviously such a stomp, he did still stand out. A couple of rounds there he pulled through and tried to shine.
Yeah, he and Uzi, to be fair, both showed that they have the skill. I mean, I think all of them had the skills, but I don't know what they did today, but they didn't show up on time. They didn't show up for this match. Fnatic were, as you'd expect, professional, thoroughly professional, well prepared, and blew them away.
Yeah, and I'd expect nothing less of Fnatic. As an organisation within itself, it really does show that, and these guys are really reciprocating that in the way they're playing currently. Clinical play coming out from them. They didn't let the fact that they were in a stomp get to them. It can be very easy to go, sod it, we'll play this out hat-handedly, we'll just have fun.
Wait, hold on. Did I just see Stinger smiling? I think I might have done.
Don't joke with me.
I might have done.
Oh, God.
He does that occasionally.
Are you sure?
Yeah, maybe.
It wasn't like a facial spasm or something?
No.
Okay.
Modi looked pretty bored, though. But that, ruthless efficiency
very
from
much
Fnatic. So. And they are safely through to the semi-final, where they will play Absolute Legends from Sweden. So it will be an all-Scandinavian affair in one half of the draw. What would the other side of the draw be? Well, it could be another Scandinavian team in the form of Ninjas in Pyjamas if they can defeat Kick from Portugal, and they would play Very Games from France. It's all a bit of an international flavour here in the RaidCall EMS 1, dubbed as the Champions League of Counter-Strike in Europe, and living up to its name for sure today. We've only had one really fantastic game, that one between Very Games and a Nexus, and 2 stomps, which by the rights of law means that the last game, Kick versus NIP, will be a really close game.
I hope so.
Oh, come on, who are you kidding? I mean, all joking aside, NIP on an ordinary day will just stomp through Kick. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you ask anyone from Kick, except maybe Fox, they'll all say, they should win. They should win 16-3, 16-2, something like that. That's what everyone says. But I saw a lot of people saying earlier on Very Games were going to stomp a Nexus and they were just going to walk all the way through it, and they didn't. So
that's a good point.
You
never know what you're going to get. I thought there'd be a lot more from Imaginary Gaming, to be fair. Personally, I genuinely thought I thought it would go that way, but not in that fashion. I thought there'd be a little bit more kind of rapport between them, and there was very little there. There's some moments where things worked for Uzi and Co.
Hold on a second. Someone needs to take a freeze frame of what you can see on the screen right now and Photoshop a red and black jersey on. Oh, controversial.
Are you dropping drama hits? Oh my God.
I'm just having a bit of fun. The funny thing is about those guys, they don't seem all that upset.
No.
I mean, Imaginary Gaming goes, they were having a bit of a laugh and a joke, they were messing around in the server. I think they kind of knew that they were on a hiding to nothing coming out here for this quarterfinal anyway. It was a bum draw for them. But on the other hand, they're still here to enjoy it. So, nice to see that they've kept the attitude and they're still smiling out there, still happy, no problem at all. And I think they'll have at least enjoyed playing on the LAN against a big team like Fnatic.
But personally, when I did used to play at events, I've got to say that we're coming all this way and then walking away with just that would destroy me a little bit as a player. My confidence would be a little bit in question just because of the fact that I didn't give my best. That's the point. I know these guys can do better. Whether or not it's a kind of blowout game, you can say about Absolute Legends recently. They have split up, they're just about everywhere, and yet they still performed. So for me, I really do want to see more from these guys, but as you said, there might be someone leaving, changing colour t-shirts pretty soon, so maybe we won't get to see that, but obviously Fnatic did show exactly what they're made of in that. I don't think any of us can really doubt them for it.
Yes, indeed. We're just going to grab the two players. It looks like we're going to get Modi and Shox for an interview just shortly. So you just see the Fnatic guys just packing up, and you might also
get right.
you might also notice a certain other Swede in the shot right now who's just about ready to get set up. He's changed his hair colour yet again, I think, isn't he? I've seen him with red hair, yellow hair, and black hair. I'm not entirely sure what his real hair colour is anymore.
Maybe he's bald and it's just a wig.
I don't know. It doesn't matter what colour his hair is, he's still good at shooting heads, that's for sure. So yeah, they'll be next up in action. That's why he's busy chatting to Stinger right now and getting ready with the Nip boys. And we're getting ready for an interview with Shox and with Modi. But not yet, it seems.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So,
We're just enjoying Get Right.
NIP versus Kick. Let's have a little quick 20-second talk about that for later on. What do you think?
As you said, NIP should walk it, but a lot of questions about NIP. I think it's for me, it's looking to see how they're playing recently, how they come to this event. Obviously, off the back of the drama, let's just call it, they have a lot now to kind of pick up back to. Which I think is for me is just seeing how they're playing individually, how they kind of challenge the likes of Fox, who as a player himself is incredible. He's probably one of the most talented people I've seen in this game for quite some time. I love the way he plays, very confident, very clinical. So it's going to be a real good game overall for me personally, but I think it's more not the teams against each other, but the players, how they face off, and I'm kind of curious to see how they challenge and take each other on.
Okay. Well, enough from us nattering on. Let's go over to someone else who's going to be nattering on, but in a much nicer way. It is, of course, Sean, who's with both team captains from Imaginary and, of course, Fnatic.
Paul, thank you so much for saying that my nattering is at a decent quality. I appreciate that. It means a lot coming from you. Thank you also, Pansy. Thank you guys for casting that awesome round. Sit next to me. How do you feel, buddy?
Well, good. I'm good. I mean, as I said before the match, we know that they were better than us. We are just a mix. We played 2 times together. They just arrived top 5-6 at CPH Games and top 2nd at last ESH at Birmingham. So yeah, they were really good and good game to them.
And so, do you feel that the performance was fair for what came out, or would you like to have seen a different play from the team?
I would like to make a little more runs, to be honest, but we just could not do this because they were better.
Simply better, as they say. And the man who was simply better, Andreas, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling really great, actually. It's really nice.
And did this go to plan, to the way that you kind of, let's say, saw it coming in your head?
No, not really. I thought it was supposed to be a much closer game, and when we went, I think the key factor was like we won all the gun rounds, and we also won like all the third rounds. So we started out really good on both maps. So it was really nice.
So that the starting off with, let's say, the improvement on each map, is that something that you guys were planning to do, or is it something that just came together now? Or talk me through that.
We just talked before the games and just made up some gun rounds and what we were supposed to do in the 3rd and 5th round. So that was just something we just came up with just now on the spot. So
it worked out very well for you. So what's next? Looking at tomorrow, are you excited?
Yeah, of course. We are through the semifinals. Of course, I'm satisfied. So it's going to be really nice.
And at the moment, what are you thinking about the opposition that you could be facing?
I know the guys. I've been playing with Pronax and Lead in the same team before, and of course they're Swedish, so I really want to beat those guys. But they're really good. They're this mixed team, and everything can happen, But hopefully we're gonna win in a close battle this time. So yeah.
So tomorrow that'll be the case. Yeah. Taking it to them, you hope. Excellent.
Yeah,
well, as the observant of you at home will have noticed, we've got Melly joining us here on the couch, and that means one thing. That means we're going to answer some questions from the audience. You okay with that, guys? Melly, what's the first question? Who's it for?
First question is, how much did you practice for this event? The usual question.
So I'll throw it over to you. You can answer it. I think we kind of covered it, but go ahead.
Yeah, 2 times.
2 times. Great.
Do you really think that ultimately that was, that was the game changer for you?
I don't know. It just we were qualified, so we just have to to get some players to make the finals. We are really happy to be here, and we tried to do our best, but we could not. And yeah, I don't know what to say more.
No, that's a fair comment, and I appreciate your honesty in that. And for you, how did things lead up to this with in terms of practice?
We just started practice on Wednesday, so we've been practicing 2 days before this event. But before that, we had Birmingham, and we also practiced like 2 or 3 days before that. And before that, we had Copenhagen Games. So we have been practicing as much as we can.
So your practice was really at LAN events, really? That's where you've been doing most of the work and that you're with the team together.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe gave you an advantage today here at the RaidCall EMS finals?
Yes, I think so. We have like the games in our mind already, and sometimes you can go and make a weak first game in like a group stage or something. But we have the competition in our minds already, so it's really nice. I think that made us like the better team today.
Excellent stuff. What's next for us, Melly?
What is your first thought about after winning a map? What is your first thought?
After winning?
I was really relieved because it's always nice to have one map in the lead, of course. And I was a little bit surprised that we won 16-1, even though we won both gun rounds. So I was really relieved, really happy, of course.
Excellent.
And after winning a round, if you lost so many in a row?
Well, to be honest, at the end we just took this with fun because we could not do anything, and as we said, we are a mix, so we are here to.
So you're completely relaxed.
Yeah, totally. We are here to get good time, so nothing more.
And you're having a good time.
Not really at the moment.
Losing.
Not for now.
Beside the losing thingy, so.
apart from losing, being out, I'm having the best time. Any more questions for the guys,
yeah.
Melly?
Why aren't all the screens set to full screen?
Why aren't all the screens set to full screen?
Some of you playing 4 to 3.
I don't know.
No?
People just
So
like
you
to play with 4.3 or aspect. That's, I don't know.
Just personal preference,
Yeah,
whatever perhaps you're used to or playing with at home, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Fair question.
So
Simple answer.
what do you think about the smokes in game? Are they too big or too soupy, too foggy, to whatever?
The smokes in game?
Yeah, they are maybe a little too big because when you got a player who is going through the smoke, the player behind can see him before the others saw him. So yes, there is a little mistake about that, but I think if they can fix this, it's good.
It's like Chucky says, when you run through the smoke and stuff like that. But hey, I kind of like the smokes anyway. It's different from 1.6 that we have been playing before, and you can make like nice tactics to just throw the smokes all the time. So I kind of like them.
So tactical advantage, something to get used to, but definitely has a bit of a change. Anything else, Melly?
Another user asked, do you feel confident enough to beat Ninjas in Pyjamas? After Virtus Pro showed how it's to be done.
Fnatic versus Ninjas.
Yeah, of course. You can't go into a game and think you're gonna lose it. Then you're not supposed to be in here in this game. Of course, we feel confident if we go to the final and play against them. We should both be confident because we're both in the final. And when you just sit there and play a game, everything can happen. So I'm always gonna be confident no matter who I'm gonna play against. So
confidence is key.
How many LAN events did you have played in your whole career?
I don't know. I've lost count.
This year?
This year, I've been playing maybe 4 or 5, I think.
4 or 5?
Yeah, I'm not sure. 4 or 5.
Good ratio.
It's a good ratio. We're in April now, so that's nice if we're doing one a month. Anything else for the guys?
No, that's all.
That's all for now.
That's all for now.
If you're watching at home and you have questions for the players here, then make sure you get in contact with Melly. You can reach out via Twitter, on the chat, in Twitch.
We RaidCall.
Via RaidCall, of course. Get onto channel 1997. There's 1,000 other people you can join in and have a good time and get a bit of a chat party going off. And Melly will be there to talk to you as well. And of course, we'll be coming back to handle all your questions. I want to thank both you guys for joining us. Thank you for playing. I want to thank you guys for watching so far. We're going to nip out and watch a nice little video together. And after that, we'll be right back with more tasty action here from the RaidCall EMS1 Finals in Cologne, Germany, ESL TV. Don't go away.
RaidCall EMS1 semi-finals this evening of our first ever Weeks Cup. $156,000 up for grabs throughout the 4 seasons, and we are in the semi-finals this evening. First one will be the ninjas in pyjamas, not the teddy bears in pyjamas, as that's what it is today. Trying to make something happen. Does pick up the first kill inside that bomb site. Can he get a second? Yes, he can. That's fantastic. Last man's hiding in the smoke, but they've got a 2 versus 1 advantage, but not a huge amount of health here. Danger here. Can Vic blow it? No, he can't. He gets nailed by SMN. Freiburg goes in. This is going to be reasonably close, but I think NIP are going to get this one. Indeed, they do. Show continues in the beat terrorist. Knowing this shuts him down, but he's not going to get any further. Yes, he is going to get further. I thought he was going to lose that out to SMN, but somehow won. It's now a 2 versus 1. It was a 4 versus 1. Oh, stunning headshot from Exist. It's now a 1 versus 1 with just 2 points of health, and he's going to try and get this bomb planted now. And they needed a bit of magic from somewhere, and is this where it comes from? There it is! There it is! And then Faculty will advance to the grand final.
Welcome back. I'm joined now here by Flav from Very Games. And thank you for being here, Flav.
Thank you for having me.
It is a pleasure to have you, as always. Let's talk about today. First day of the RaidCall EMS1 Finals. $35,000 on the table. This is the first of 4 sessions for each of the seasons. There's $156K in total prize money out there. We saw Faculty go out early. Did you see that coming? Was that something that you predicted from your side?
Well, it's actually quite hard to say because, in fact, I think Absolute Legends was quite a mix. So actually, I expected Faculty to do way better than they actually did, but they haven't been doing well in the last few events. So you could say it was kind of predictable, and Absolute Legends just hit better than Faculty did. And in the end, you just saw it in the game. It was easy for Absolute Legends to win it.
Okay, and obviously we can go then to the next match, which I'm sure you can talk a little bit more about. Tell us about going up against the Nexus. What does that mean for you guys?
Well, it's always hard to go up against a team like an Nexus where you never know what Rattlesnake is putting out of his little book he has on his keyboard. But in fact, on Nuke, we knew it was strong. It's one of our best maps, I think, and we also beat them 16-1 on it. And it was quite visible that the Nexus didn't really find a solution. On Dust 2, unfortunately, we lost. It was the same as in Birmingham. It just lacked here and there. We had some communication issues during the game, I think. And we definitely need to step on Dust 2 if we want to win against teams like Snip, for example. The third map, it was tight, 16-14 win for us in the end.
Great for the viewers watching at home. I'm sure it's a little more tense for you, but talk us through that. Talk us through that.
For me, it was really bad, actually. I'm sitting back there. I can't actually do something. I would like to help them, even though I'm not that good as a player. But it's like sitting back there, doing some Twitter updates and stuff. That's just basically what I do here. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was quite scary to see them losing all these rounds after being in lead. Like, it was 15-11 or 15-12.
Were you feeling that? Were you feeling a bit of nerves? Like, hey, this is going the wrong direction. How do we turn this back?
Actually, I did, yeah. I was freaking scared that it's going to be 15-15, but some amazing rounds by the guys. They lost always with a bomb plant, basically, so it was actually quite tight, but in the end, I'm happy that we won.
Nice, nice. And so we just had the game with Fnatic and Imaginary. What did you see coming out of that game? Was anything that tells you, obviously, it was let's say a heavy lopsided game? Was that something that you also saw coming?
For me, it was quite clear that Fnatic is going to win. Also, the score is quite clear for me because Imaginary Gaming has not been much more than a mixed team here. And Fnatic is playing really great in the last few tournaments, especially also in Birmingham. We saw them taking the second place against us.
So is that somebody that you say they're one to watch for you?
Well, first of all,
I don't want to put you on the line. I'm not making. I always ask Paul to make predictions. I'm not going to do the same to you, but.
If I'm not wrong, we are playing either Nip and Kick, and that's really the match we have to focus on. And in the final, there's going to be Fnatic or Absolute Legends, which I think is going to be Fnatic in the end. So, first of all, we have to focus on the match.
Of course,
we have
one at a time.
Either Kick or Nip. I actually think it's going to be Nip. So it's a really tough match we have in the semis.
So is that a prediction for the next match, our final match today, that you're taking it for the Ninjas in Pyjamas?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they have been playing huge, although they lost 4 maps against Virtus Pro, but if you have seen the match, it was quite tight. So I think NIP is once more one of the huge favourites here.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you having here. We're going to head over now and look at a commercial break. But of course, when that commercial break is done, we'll be back playing for this bad boy right here with more yummy action from the RaidCall EMS1. Stick around, don't go away. Thank you very much, Ray, for joining us.
Thank you.
Professional grade communication tool. The choice of professional teams. Perfect stream viewing experience. Chosen by online streamers. Easy to use voice messenger service. Chosen by over 12 million gamers.
Communication is always vital when competing in tournaments. Winning a match requires perfect coordination. You cannot win by yourself.
RaidCall. Communication for winners.